Hey everyone, welcome back to the archive. Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since I've uploaded a video, and that's because I've been preparing some books for CGC, and I need to know that the work I'm doing to these books is doing more good than not. And the answer was definitely not for one of the books that I was working on, which is my beloved copy of Conan the Barbarian #1 from 1970, with art by the incomparable Barry Windsor Smith. I love this book, and I wanted to send it in. It was probably a 6.0 when I started with it, and it's maybe a 1.5 now, maybe a 2. What happened was that there was some foxing on the back cover as well as the interior covers, and I wanted to treat it with a little bit of a blue LED, but unbeknownst to me, the spine was way more delicate than I thought it was. And when I did my blue LED overlay, it pretty much popped out this top staple. And so in trying to fix that, I ended up damaging more of the spine and causing rips coming up to the top of the spine and a little bit of, on the bottom of the spine and a little bit at the top of the spine. And I also faced some water damage that saw me losing color the top of the cover here. And so yeah, this was really disappointing, and I'm really kicking myself. I really love this book, and it was an expensive mistake, especially since I bought this probably at the height of COVID. So not a cheap mistake to make. Very amateur stuff. Pretty embarrassed about it, but I want to be honest with people on my channel about what I'm doing, and so yeah, whole comedy of errors really. But the rest of the books I was able to pack up and send to CGC without much incident at all, and I think actually did a little bit more pressing to some of the books before I sent them out, and they're probably better looking now than they were when I was working on them. And so I hope to have a video showing what they look like when I get them back, and hopefully they come back at a conserved status rather than a restored or something really low or whatnot. So we'll find out. But in the meantime, that brings me to the current book I'm working on, which is this Startling Comics number 23. I was very fortunate that Dr. Paul Kosnik from the YouTube conservation channel Liberty Hill Comics happened to see this book when he was at HeroCon last month. And he knows that I'm a huge Nidor nerd, and he sent me a picture and of the book and was like, are you interested in this? And right away I was, because it features Pyroman. And Pyroman is, he doesn't come up very often for sale. He wasn't on as many books as someone like the Black Terror or the Fighting Yank, and so that might account for the rarity. But his books, when they do come up, they're kind of expensive. So I was thrilled that Dr. Paul was thinking of me, but it was a little bit more than I wanted to spend, seeing the kind of damage that is on this book. And so Dr. Paul was able to work out a deal with the seller, DT Comics, also known as Dangerously Terrific Comics. They very graciously came down in price to something that I thought was worth working with, and I'm very thankful to them, and of course Dr. Paul. So let's look at this book and see what all I have going on here. And here's the card for the company. Be really careful because this book looks very brittle. It's got some really great color. Got a tape pull, it looks like, right there. Here's a Dangerously Terrific's card. So right off the bat here, the cover is clearly detached, and the pages are pretty damaged and brittle looking on the bottom of the book and the top. Let's see if we can flip this over. Well, yeah, let's try that. All right, we got a back cover, so that's good. It looks about the same as the front cover. It doesn't look very dirty, so that's nice. No tape so far. That's really good. Let's just kind of flip through this delicately. Well, let's use this. It's pretty much what we expect. So it looks like I don't have to remove tape. That's good. Doesn't look like it needs a whole lot of cleaning, but it's definitely going to need some major leaf casting, probably to every page. And a book that requires leaf casting to every page generally will get a restored label. But again, that's okay. I haven't really worked on a lot of leaf casting of interior wraps. I've only done one book where I've done that, and so it'll be a good challenge. Looks like I might have a couple of attached pages in the center, and I do have some staples. Maybe a single staple book? I think it's a single staple book. But yeah, I'm thrilled to work on this, and it's beginning to fall apart on me, so I don't want to mess with it too much more until I start actually working on it. All right, and so the other thing I wanted to discuss was a YouTube channel that popped up on my feed recently. It's called Sequential Artifacts. It's the YouTube channel of documentarian Professor Robert Emmon, and this channel is mind-blowing. His videos, I mean, he's a documentarian, so obviously his production quality is going to be, you know, amazing. But his videos are just so fascinating. They are basically, it's just his exploration and his passion of comics. He's about my age, so it's fun seeing him relive getting into comics in the same way that I did. And you know, he's got a director's eye, so he's looking at these comics from, you know, a director's mentality. He's also done a couple of documentary films, including a film called Diagram for Delinquents, which is a really interesting take on Frederick Wortham, the man who wrote the book Seduction of the Innocents, which essentially ended the golden age of comics. And his treatment, his documentary, gives a very different perspective of Dr. Wortham. I think a lot of people believe that Dr. Wortham was some sort of, you know, extremist, foaming at the mouth fundamentalist who, you know, was working with, you know, maybe McCarthy or something like that to get rid of, you know, despicable comic books. And nothing could be further from the truth. Dr. Wortham, he was a progressive who worked with children and cared about social issues. He was really invaluable in the civil rights movement. The documentary doesn't try to paint him in, you know, nothing but praise. It clearly states the facts that, you know, his work affected comics disastrously, as it did. But it's a very nuanced and very careful take on the subject that I think more people need to be exposed to, because it gives you a whole different perspective on the era and on what the doctor was trying to accomplish, for good or for bad. So anyhow, check out Professor Emmon's YouTube channel, Sequential Artifacts. I can't say enough good about it. Really love what he's doing there. And so anyhow, that's all I have for you today. And the next video, we'll be getting to work on this book. So stay tuned. All right, thanks. Bye.